The first step of this process is actually going to involve a little bit of technology and automation. If this scares you, don't worry, you could replace this with just some manual emails in the meantime. What you're going to do is quite simple. You're going to set up a 3-step email sequence that begins the moment that lead books their call with you. They'll receive 1 email per day with information about you, your company, and what to expect on this upcoming sales call. Now, the reason for this is really simple. When you set up a drip automation for every sales call you're going into, you're showing professionalism. You're showing that you're a serious and trustworthy company to work with. Think about this. If you went ahead and you booked a call with a large enterprise, a company like Zoom or Infusionsoft or any sort of large tech provider, if you schedule a sales call with them, you're going to expect to receive some automated emails that are preparing you and giving you information for that call. So by taking the simple act of setting up this email sequence, you're making yourself be perceived as a more professional, established, and legitimate company. So there's 2 components now to actually setting this up. For the technology, there are many ways you can do this, and it all depends on what tech tools you're currently using. For myself, I use Calendly as my call booking software, and so that is my trigger point. Whenever someone books on a specific Calendly invite that myself or my team has on our calendars, it starts an automated 3-step message sequence. The way that works is we set up a simple Zapier integration between Calendly, Zapier, and then an email automation software. The automation software I use is Drip, but any tool will work. If you want something very basic, you could even get started with MailChimp. I believe you could do this on their free or their lowest price plan. The automation is simple. Whenever someone books on Calendly, Zapier sends that information to your email marketing software, which starts a 3-message email sequence. Now, the second piece of this is once you have the technology set up, you want to set up the messaging in a way that works. This may be different based on your product or service, but here's the simple 3-step messaging sequence that I use for Content Allies. The first email thanks them for booking a call and sets a simple frame of what to expect on this upcoming discovery call. The second email we send out is sharing links to case studies and our portfolio pieces. We know this is one of the biggest requests that customers ask for, so we automatically send that out in the second email. And the third email we send out is an article about the problem with waiting to invest in content. We know that one of the biggest problems we run into as a content agency is that people can always delay, they can always put off or invest into content later. So we created a specific content piece to address that problem, and we send that out in the third email. So email 1 is a simple what to expect on your upcoming call. Email 2 is sending over case studies and social proof. And email 3 is sending over a helpful piece of content that's going to overcome one of their largest objections. Now, in the text associated with this video series, you'll also be able to even see some of the sample scripts of what we've put together. And don't feel like you need to follow those exactly. For your business, you may have different objections, or you may be offering a quick demo or overview of features, something like that prior to a call. But the key point is, how can you design a 3-email sequence that is going to give them valuable information before their upcoming call? Now, while this may take a bit of time to set up on the front end, trust me when I say that it's worth it. If you do this and you set this up, and after a few months of running this, you go and look at your email statistics, you will be amazed at the open and click-through rates you have on these emails and the content within them. On our side, we're seeing 60 to 80% open rates and over 50% click-through rates on any link we send. That means over half of the leads that are scheduling with us are looking at case studies and social proof and portfolio pieces before we ever hop on a call with them. And once again, the purpose of all of this, as we discussed at the beginning, is to build trust with the prospect. So this simple email sequence shows professionalism and builds trust before you ever get to that first call. So there it is, this 3-message email sequence is step 1 to building an outbound closing process that works. In the next video, we're going to talk through how to handle that initial discovery call.